Good evening. I'm Sarah Foster from Redress South Bend, and I'm sitting down with Officer Brian Meador this evening to ask him a few questions. Officer Meador, we're going to start off with probably one of the most hard-hitting questions you'll ever get asked in an interview.
Okay.
What is your favorite type of cookie?
That's a tough one. Normally, I used to say snickerdoodle. I
Okay.
love snickerdoodles. But I don't know if Keeflies qualify as cookies.
Okay.
But I'm a Keefly fanatic. So, especially around Christmas time, you're always going to see me with a plate of Keeflies or date pinwheels. Can I say 3?
Yeah.
All right.
Nothing wrong
We're
with
going
that.
with 3.
Those are very good choices.
All right. That was tough.
I know. Very hard.
All right.
What inspired you or made you decide to become a police officer?
So my grandpa was an Illinois state trooper. His dad was an Illinois constable. And then my dad spent 45 years in government service. He was in the Air Force. So as a kid, I'd always aspired to either fly in the Air Force or be a police officer. And I'm pretty fortunate. I've been able to do both. I was an aerial refueling specialist in the Air Force. And I've been a South Bend police officer for a few years now.
Awesome. It's always great to be able to follow in your hero's footsteps.
I love to tell people that I've very blessed to have both of my dream jobs.
Yeah, that's awesome. Can you tell us about the incident in early December last year where you literally saved a child's life?
Yeah, that was sort of a one-off situation. Our office is located in the front of the department, and we were actually in the office preparing for a neighborhood meeting. I was technically supposed to be at my wife's company's Christmas party that night, but she wasn't feeling well, so I decided to stay back and go to the meeting with Sergeant Bourne and Officer Cole, and as we were prepping in our office, we all sort of heard a commotion in the lobby. At first it sounded like somebody may have been fighting, but I got up to see what was going on, and as I was approaching the door, I heard somebody say he's not breathing.
Okay.
So I wasn't aware at the time. It was a baby. I didn't know if it was an adult. I had no clue. So I ran out the door, and as I was running out the door, I think the video that's still out there, you can see, I believe it was the mother or the father of the baby running towards me, and I just grabbed the baby out of their arms, sat down in one of the lobby chairs, assessed the situation, and started doing CPR. We train specifically, and we talk about muscle memory and a lot of the things that we do, and I think in that video you can see muscle memory kick in. At one point you can kind of see me point at Officer Cole, and I was telling him to call 911, which you're trained in CPR to advise somebody, help, call 911. Well, I told Officer Cole to call 911. He was already on the radio advising EMTs to step it up.
Okay.
So I did administer CPR. Luckily, thank God, the baby started breathing right as the medics pulled up in front of the department. So when that baby cried, I can't even tell you the relief that I felt. Yeah, that was pretty intense. In fact, I literally had to watch the video to recall what really had just occurred.
Adrenaline kicks in,
oh,
and
my
you
goodness.
just kind of,
you
said, muscle memory, blackout and muscle memory.
Absolutely, and I've done CPR many times, unfortunately, with this job, and a lot of times it's on adults. So that was only the second time in my career I'd ever performed CPR on an infant. I had received a life-saving award when I first got on the department, and another officer and I, who's no longer on the department, administered CPR to a child with special needs who had a trach, a stoma. Okay. And so I was bagging the child as Officer Kozan was giving compressions. So it'd been many years, other than CPR training, that I'd actually done anything like that. So.
Yeah. It's unfortunate your wife was sick, but definitely a blessing in disguise.
Right place, right time.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's just, it's been a whirlwind since. And the baby is doing well. We did check up with the mom and dad the following day, and then prior to Christmas, we were able to check up on the family. Mom had another baby,
Okay.
and so he has a baby sister, and that's fantastic. So
Yes.
I plan on touching base from time to time just to see
Good.
how everybody's doing.
Good. Well, that is awesome, and we're certainly very thankful to have somebody as fast reacting as you in our community.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Can you tell us about the experience you, Officer Bourne, and Officer Cole had at the Indiana Pacers game?
Again, that was kind of a whirlwind. I never expected anything like that. I would say most officers, I know speaking for myself, I don't do this job for recognition. I've sat in on oral boards, and you ask an officer, why'd you want to be a police officer, and most individuals will answer, I want to help people. And I do know, for me specifically, I have an inherent desire to help. I've always been that way, and getting into this job, it was a unique opportunity for me to do that. And a lot of times people have interactions with officers, and it's a bad day. It could be the worst day of their life, unfortunately. So an officer plays a very pivotal role in that, regardless of the circumstance.
Definitely.
And it's incredibly rewarding to be able to do our job. So going back to your question about the Pacers game, that was something that Sergeant Bourne had nominated me for.
Okay.
It's their hometown heroes program, I guess, and Officer Bourne's a huge Pacers fan.
Okay.
I'm not so much, but I tell you what, the Pacers really rolled out the red carpet. It was very enjoyable. I was selected, and so they invited myself and my family down, and then Officer Bourne, Officer Cole, and other members of our unit were able to go down to a Pacers game. And then before the game, I was sort of shown around. I got a chance to meet one of their players and meet the representative from the Hoosier Lottery who actually presents the award.
Okay.
And so, again, that's sort of a whirlwind night. Never did I think I'd be on the center court of an NBA floor,
Right.
in front of thousands of people. But here I was, and I'm very grateful for that. I'm thankful. I'm kind of glad it's settled down and things are back to normal.
Yeah,
I really am more at ease with that. I didn't really like a lot of the attention, although it was positive attention, and I'm very grateful for that. But again, I don't do this job for ribbons and awards. Right. I do it because for me it's very personally rewarding. Mm-hmm. And I was fortunate enough to get the opportunity to do something that makes a difference.
Yeah.
And that to me is the best reward ever. That babies cry.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, that was a fantastic surprise of a night for you then, sounds like.
Yeah, it was a little crazy.
It was a good crazy.
It was a good crazy. Yeah, we had a really good time. It was a good bonding moment for the unit. Everybody had an enjoyable time. I took 3 of my sons to the game, so they're Pacers fans, so they got to sit and watch the game, and they had a blast. So it was a great night.
Good.
It was a great night.
At the end of the day, how do you want to be remembered as an officer?
I made a difference. I want people to, I would say this for most officers, I would really hope that at the end of their career, at the end of the day, they can hold their head up high. They can know that, they did right. They did what they were supposed to do. They helped people. I want people to say, hey, I met that Officer Meador. He's a nice guy. Or, hey, he helped me change a tire, or whatever it might be. I don't want people to be like, oh, yeah, that Officer Meador was awful. Unfortunately, we're in a profession that is highly scrutinized. Mm-hmm. And if you do something bad, it really affects the entire profession. And, we're humans. We make mistakes. But a lot of times when we make mistake, it's blown up. It's a mistake. It's big. And, we get scrutinized to the umpteenth degree. And so hopefully, it's that whole ledger. You hope that at the end of the career, at the end of your life, whatever, you're in the black. You've made a difference in somebody's life, whether that's a momentary smile, a handshake, hold the door. Hopefully, I don't have many more circumstances where I'm trying to revive a child. If that circumstance presents itself, I hope I, do everything in my power to have the outcome that we did. But ultimately, it wasn't my decision for that child to live.
Right.
I thank God that child lived. I'm just very fortunate that I was there and knew what to do. And so I think it's paramount that not only officers but citizens, they take training, they get aware, they learn CPR, they are good neighbors, they do try to make a difference within their community in whatever way they can. And I think what you guys are doing are a great job. The more that I've got to know you all and have conversations with you, and answer questions, we've been able to have adult conversations. And sometimes we agree, sometimes we don't. But, ultimately at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. You can disagree without being disagreeable. And, hopefully, like I said, at the end of the day, I've made a difference. And that's a positive difference.
Yeah, and as I can personally say, as somebody who has interacted with you multiple times and had more conversations with you, I can confidently say that you are leaving that positive stamp on your community.
Thank you. I appreciate
that. And we do appreciate you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And one last question to somebody watching. Why should they think about attending next month's crime stat meeting?
Oh, I can't say enough about this department. I'm very proud of the South Bend Police Department. I'm proud of the administration that we have. I'm proud of the community outreach that we do. The crime stats meeting is just another opportunity for us to bridge that gap. We truly are trying to be as transparent as we possibly can. Sometimes that's ugly because unfortunately crime stats are high. Sometimes crime's down. There is a definite ebb and flow. I can remember years here on the job where it was awful, and then years where it wasn't so bad. And I think as long as we continue to build those bridges with the community, as long as we are communicating with the community, we're encouraging officers to get out of their squad cars, talk to people, play basketball with the kids, play soccer with the kids, go to a barbecue. You see somebody out, stop and talk to them.
Yeah.
This gives the community the opportunity to come in. They can see stats for their side of town or their specific area. They can ask questions of police officers. They can really get a one-on-one conversation. And if they have a complaint, they can bring those complaints to us at that time. We're going to do our best to address them and come to an amicable solution. And I think education is paramount. Instead of just going off of hearsay and what you might hear on the streets, and come get it from the horse's mouth.
Yep.
We're not going to hide anything.
Yeah.
I hope that we have that that trust with the community to where they know what we're saying is truthful and we are being honest about it. I can tell you there aren't very many departments that do this. One of the more fortunate things that I've been able to do on this department is attend quite a bit of training with officers from around the country, and we all will sit and compare notes and see, obviously we need to learn if we're doing something not so well, how can we do it better? And, just like the suggestions tonight on our slide presentation, we take that seriously. If there's a better way that we can make a presentation that's more understandable or presents itself in a better manner, then by all means, we're going to look at that. We're going to consider that. And we've implemented some of those ideas. So we're learning as the community's learning. And, for us to get that information and that feedback in a neutral atmosphere, I think it's very important. We love to face it. We love to get those questions here. And, attendance has kind of ebbed and flowed like everything else. But, the more the merrier. We have plenty of rooms here, or seats here, so join us.
And it is, like you said, straight from the horse's mouth. It's nice as a citizen knowing if I have a question or just I'm curious about how things work.
Absolutely.
That I can come straight to you, Officer Bourne or Officer Cole, and I know I'll be getting a straight answer.
Well, I'm glad.
Yeah.
Thank
All
you.
right. Well, thank you very much for your
Not a
time
problem. I
tonight.
really
and
appreciate you
thank
taking
you
the
for
time
your
to speak with
service.
me.
We appreciate you.
Thank you very much. Look forward to seeing you again.
Yes. Yep. Once a month, hopefully. Only that.
There we go.